In Yalta, a young blonde woman strolled quietly along the seafront, a small white dog trotting faithfully beside her. The little dog, alert and devoted, occasionally looked up at her with eager eyes. She moved with grace and restraint. Her appearance was simple, but her eyes held a deep curiosity and a storm of unspoken thoughts. That same day, a man named Gurov arrived in town. He was from Moscow, a middle-aged man with a wife and children. His wife, an intellectual and a staunch advocate for women's rights, called herself a thinking woman. Yet in his heart, Gurov found her dull and graceless. Though he was clever and perceptive, he viewed women with a quiet disdain, often calling them the lower race, even as he admitted to himself he could not live without them. One afternoon, it was the little white dog that drew him into conversation with the young woman. The dog became a silent bridge between two strangers. Gurov smiled and said,
"What a lovely little dog you have."
She replied with a soft smile.
"He's always with me. He never leaves my side."
That day, they walked together for a while, exchanging light and casual thoughts, about the sea, the sunlight, and the books she had recently read. She spoke with quiet passion, and Gurov, watching her as she talked, felt a warmth he could not quite name. That night, alone in his hotel room, he thought of her, and his dreams were filled with her face. A week later, on a hot and heavy afternoon, they spent the evening together. In the stillness of her hotel room, they became lovers. Afterwards, the young woman wept, overcome with guilt. She spoke of her German husband through tears, while Gurov silently ate a slice of watermelon, saying nothing. The next morning was wrapped in mist. They met again, but only a few days later, she had to return to her city. Gurov could not forget her, nor the little white dog. Her presence haunted him. He found no one with whom he could share the truth of what he had felt. Whenever he tried, he was met with smirks or indifference. One evening, he said to a friend,
"You can't imagine what a charming woman I met in Yalta."
His friend simply laughed and changed the subject. Back in Moscow, everything, the bank, the dinners, the hollow conversations, felt lifeless and mechanical. Restless and aching, he left again, this time for her city. He rented a room in the finest hotel. He noticed the gray carpet, the still air, the dusty inkwell shaped like a horseman lifting his hat, all ordinary details, suddenly filled with weight. One evening, at the local theater, during a performance of the geisha, he spotted her in the crowd, seated beside her husband. Navigating staircases and corridors, he finally reached her and whispered,
"I came from Moscow to see you. I have never known happiness. I'm not happy now, and I never, ever will be."
She smiled but said nothing. After a pause, he turned and left the theater. From then on, their meetings continued in secret, hidden in the folds of Moscow's cold, indifferent routine. Gurov began to understand the truth of his life. Everything visible, the work, the family, the chatter, was meaningless. His real life had been unfolding in secret, away from the eyes of the world. He now lived two lives, one public, shallow, and predictable, the other, quiet, clandestine, and utterly real. In their last meeting, they felt closer than ever before. The young woman wept in his arms, and Gurov, his hair now touched with gray, his heart unexpectedly full, realized that for the first time in his life, he was truly in love. They talked about their future, about finding a way to be together. But no answer came, only the ache of uncertainty, and a love that had no home. It seemed that a solution would soon be found, that a new and honest life would begin. But both of them knew with certainty, the road ahead was long, and the journey would be tangled, painful, and unclear. This story shows us that people's real lives are often hidden in the shadow of silence and everyday appearances. What others see, work, lifeless conversations, social roles, as only a performance on stage, while in private, emotions, love, and the passion of life flow freely. Do you think this secret love represents the true emotions of people, or is it just excitement and an escape from everyday life? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts.